Hi, I'm Allison Pilling, and I'm a co-host of the Death Café Quinte. And today I'm just going to share my reflections on our May 18th event that happened yesterday, actually. And I do this each month. Just kind of give you a glimpse as to the topics and that we discussed, just to see whether the Death Cafe might be something that you may find beneficial for yourself. So in our event yesterday, we had quite a few new people, which, is great. The Death Cafe is an open space that's confidential for people to come and discuss death and dying, all things related to death and dying. Again, in this safe, confidential space. So there's no requirement to sign up, to commit to a certain amount of programs or anything like that. It's just a drop-in thing. So what we discussed yesterday, I'm just going to say, wow, okay? There were a lot of thought-provoking discussions that took place where people were sharing things that had a perspective that I will say have never even crossed my mind. They were things that weren't on my radar, and it was so eye-opening for me. So I really appreciate that vulnerability and what those individuals brought to our event. For me, it really hammered home the importance of sharing these stories, sharing our facts, our stories from all perspectives, so that we can learn and grow, right? So from these experiences, the hope is that we can take this and use it to help heal ourselves and do work within the community, and also just evolve as humans, right? We're trying to learn how to nurture and care for ourselves and others. Some of the conversation definitely made me think about the consideration of what's reality to each individual. So we need to understand that what we may experience as reality within our mind, within our life, is not the same for everyone else. Each of us create a reality from what we've been told and what our life experiences are. We create this reality for us as an individual. And that can differ from, the person right beside you, maybe your mom, your dad, your children, your best friend, your coworker. And when we recognize that reality can be different for each individual, the hope is that opens up the capacity for empathy, compassion, and just to get curious as to what that experience might be for them, right? One other thing we were talking about is that there is a grief, this sense of loss when you are experiencing things or you have questions that aren't answered. When you're stepping into the unknown, or you feel as though there is no answer to the question, right? It's like, how do you retain hope, that feeling of hope of moving forward, if you cannot find an answer or a solution with either the knowledge or tools or anything like that you feel you've been given? And some of the struggles with that. Another thing we talked about was the difference when you're considering your own death, when it's under a threat of violence versus a natural progression towards end of life, right? What kind of experience is that for you within your lifetime? How do you view life if you're under this threat of constant violence against you as a human being, right? That can really open up a very different perspective on life. So that is one thing we talked about. And another thing that actually, I'll admit, it almost brought me to tears. There was a story shared about an individual who had lost many partners and still continued to open themselves up for love, right? to fall in love again, which I thought was not necessarily characteristic, again, of me, myself, right? I put up barriers. I try to protect myself. There's some fears around being vulnerable and the potential pain of losing someone I love. And sometimes that will stop me from entering a new relationship. So when I heard this story, the first thing that popped in my mind was that individual's capacity to love must be so great. And I actually found that very inspiring. So I just wanted to share that with everyone, that the capacity to love is a gift that we have as humans. And sometimes when we're hurt, we shut that down. And so really to step back to see whether that is helping us move forward and create the life that we want for ourselves, by putting up that protection, that barrier, or whether that might be holding us back from some beautiful experiences. And again, that's for every individual to decide. And there are going to be some moments when you open yourself up for love, right? And there are going to be times where you need to protect yourself. So, so thank you to everyone that participated, and thank you for letting me share this today. The next Death Café is June 15th, and we're going to do that online again from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested in finding out more about this event, please send us a direct message through the Death Café Facebook page, or Arifa and myself. You can send us a message and we'll add you to our email list to get the Zoom meeting link. Okay, have a great day.